happened to me. It happened in my mid-30s. One night I dove head first into lo mein and was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what happened. It was slimy." And I've tried it since, and I can't do it.
But rice run lo mein is so good.
I used to be able to do lo mein.
And if you get it without the baby corn, because I mean, baby corn is pointless.
Yeah.
Then they give you extra like shrimp.
So, are there farmers somewhere that grow baby corn, and that's all they grow?
I don't know.
Like they're already done.
That has to be a particular
What is
type, because it's not just small corn. Because small corn wouldn't look like that when
I
it
know.
first starts growing. So it must be a particular kind
Is
of
it growing a bush?
plant.
A
But
corn bush?
maybe we can do an
Yeah.
episode on that at some point.
Baby corn, also known as young corn, cornlets, or baby sweet corn, is a cereal grain taken from corn or maize, harvested early while the stalks are still small and immature. It is literally baby corn. It typically is eaten whole, cob included, in contrast to mature corn, the cob of which is too tough for human consumption.
That is weird because of the effort and resources required to grow
Yeah.
enough of that.
The salad bars across America need their baby corn.
That is
The
weird.
adorable mystery of where baby corn comes from
I
is
feel-
officially solved.
I feel like it's one of those things, one of those food products that probably just needs to go away.
Yes,
Like
it does.
to grow that on an industrial scale. Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Now, Chinese food, cleaning out gutters. Shatley Springs, barely. Shout out to those of you in Crumpler, North Carolina.
Shatley Springs is closed.
It's temporarily closed.
It says
Permanent? No.
Their website said temporary, and they were going to try to open in the fall.
we looked at it last week and it said,
Google said permanently closed, but like if you clicked on the actual website
okay.
Yeah.
for the restaurant, it said they hope to reopen in the fall. I think maybe they sold to new owners or something. And
Well, I hope
trying
they're
to get
great.
it.
See, because the last time,
EVC.
so and their sign is missing letters, and the only heat is like right there when you walk in the door. So it's like,
But the food's amazing.
yeah.
But the food's amazing.
And so it's like you get there and you're like, why do we even come here? And then you eat and you're like, this is
This is
why.
why. We did Thanksgiving there 2 years ago. Bombed out.
Oh,
So what's up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode 63 of the What Makes Us Human podcast, where we have a long intro where we talk about anything and everything. Right here's John Lindeman, and over there is JR and his World Series Champs 2021 Atlanta Braves hat.
yep.
Doing all right?
Doing good. Just got back from a camping trip. We took my nephew. We started last year a tradition because I usually get a couple days off around the 4th, and so this year I got Friday and Monday off, and with a long weekend we went camping up in National Forest, so kind of middle of nowhere, not at a campground because I don't want to go near a campground on July 4th.
Right, yeah.
Too crowded.
Yeah.
But took him to National Forest, kind of real camping sort of thing, and took him trout fishing, and he caught his first trout this year. And we didn't do any good last year fishing, but this year he caught his first trout that was big enough to keep, and I filleted it for him, and he ate it. He was so excited. He said
Nice.
it was so good. So he's 7. I don't know if I said that, but
So he's growing up, getting hair on his chest,
He's,
learning how to spit backer a little bit.
he's yeah. So that was fun,
It's a
but
joke,
this trip was a little ended a little abruptly.
Oh, okay.
Last
Everything all
night.
right?
Yeah, everything's all right, but we did kill a copperhead the first
Oh,
day.
nice.
So
My
he-
wife would have freaked out.
He's the one who saw it crawl under the rock and around the fire pit, and we
Wow.
managed to uncover the rock and shoot him. So, but no, what happened was we were supposed to come back today, and last night about 7 o'clock, the bottom dropped out.
Ah,
Thunder, lightning, absolutely pouring
oh, it
rain
did. Yeah. It
for
did.
2 hours
Yeah.
last night up there, and
What county were you in?
I don't even know. Is that Burke?
You're in Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To the northeast of us, it was real bad.
Yeah. So, this is you go to Morganton, then you go up the mountain, basically. And so it rained hard for a solid 2 hours. And about 9:30, the rain had let up, and my brother goes over to check the tent that he and my nephew were staying in, and because I was hammock camping, and my stuff was pretty good, but they opened the door to their tent, and there's a pool of water in the
Ah.
tent, and all their stuff is soaked.
So you just came on home.
And so yeah, we packed up in the dark last night and got home about 1 o'clock this morning. So
Nice. Okay.
it was kind of, well, do we sleep in the truck and then try to pack up wet stuff in the morning, or we just go ahead and pack up wet stuff now and go
Yeah.
home? So
I sleep in a truck pretty good.
yeah, it was still a fun trip. Stuff wasn't going to dry out in time to pack anyway, so it was good. I think you guys just got back from the beach.
Yep.
Have a good trip.
Yeah. It was good. Very nice. Not as much sun as normal, but it turned out pretty good. Kids are getting older and they still want to be with us some, so that's nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
great.
we told them you don't have to go, but we want you to go. And they went. They got free food, free roof over their head. So played lots of Uno, watched a lot of Impractical Jokers.
Okay.
Yeah. So had a good time. I ate fish, and it was awesome. And then it's weird when you gorge yourself on fish and shrimp, and then you come home and they pop open ice cream. It's like you just don't think about the mix, what's
Yeah.
going to end up in your gut. But it was great to get away. It was a good time.
So tomorrow is Independence Day,
Oh yes,
July 4th.
yeah.
And I thought, in the spirit of that, one of the things that comes to mind in with Independence Day is hot dogs. People grilling out hamburgers and hot dogs. I think Nathan's Famous has their big hot dog eating contest on, which I've never actually watched on
I've watched it like on
July
YouTube the
4th.
next day, and it makes me want to gag a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I feel like if I watched, I wouldn't enjoy. So I've never watched it, but
Now I used to be able to keep up, but not like that. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, I used to be able to really put down some food.
What's the most?
But I mean, like 78 hot dogs. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah.
I mean, I'd eat 5 and think I was king of the mountain. What's the record?
76.
Really? And I just blurted out. So, okay.
Joey Chestnut eats 76 hot dogs to break his world record. That was last year.
Yeah, Joey Chestnut. Yeah. So, do you? I'm not doing this. Is it gratuitously?
No, what are
But
you going for?
well, does he cough all that up as soon as it's over?
I assume he eats it. Like, I think part of the training is like expanding your stomach, like eating enough that your stomach kind of expands.
Cause that's got to be
Stomach
miserable.
stretches.
Cause this is the bread too.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about yeah, they dip it in the water, but think about 78 buns.
Yep.
That's nuts. I mean, that cannot. It's like I would think you would want to get rid of that, expel that, and that would be a contest all in its own.
Ugh. Ugh.
15 feet or more. Good lord. But yeah,
So,
that's a lot of buns and hot dogs.
so John, if you're gonna have a hot dog, how are you gonna have it? What are you gonna put on it?
All right.
You want it grilled? You want it boiled? How do you want it cooked? And what do you want on it?
Well, as both of our listeners know, Uh, I can be kind of a weird dude. So, I noticed early on as a child and I've had a love affair with a hot dog since before I could talk. I've always loved hot dogs. So I've been told. Um, but to me, the bun is just too much. Whoever came up with a hot dog bun, it's just too much to me. I mean, I'm in it for the meat. So when I was young, my mom figured out pretty quick and she still knows. Shout out to Diane that I would take a piece of white bread and lay the hot dog diagonal. Yes, Hannah's pointing and grinning. And lay the hot dog diagonal on the white bread. And then, if I could convince mom to purchase it, I would sprinkle Tabasco, not Texas Pete, but Tabasco on the bread and then on the weenie or wiener, and then a little bit of mustard. And this is where ketchup, the whole ketchup thing, whether it's just for children or not, the ketchup was for my tots, my little
Okay.
army of tater tots, all standing up on their
Okay.
ends. Yep. And a little bit of Tabasco on the slight side of mac and cheese.
Okay.
And we have us a meal, baby.
All right.
So there you go. That's a hot dog.
You did the whole struggling college student hot dog bun.
Oh, did I? Is
With
that right?
with the
Okay.
white bread, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, why purchase special bread if you already have bread?
Yeah, that's right.
But
Now, one time I was at my buddy Jerry Dale's family's place in the WV, also known as,
West Virginia?
yes. And we were at the old homestead, and his father, Jerry Dale Sr., uh, now he's an older gentleman, but he's like on his worst day, he could body slam me and laugh about it, kind of thing.
Okay.
Because he's coal miner strong, farm boy strong. But he made breakfast, and he's standing there in the kitchen smoking his cigarette, his Marlboro cigarette, and in his whitey tighties and his wife beater shirt, making the whole family breakfast.
Okay.
And we asked him to put on his pants because the kids were coming in the room. And anyway, he made biscuits and gravy and sausage and bacon and eggs and hot sauce and just flapjacks and everything. Well, I'm big on eating, and I know that I'm in it for the meat. So if I'm gonna have biscuits and gravy, that's gonna take up a lot of room. So I went to the top of the refrigerator and got 2 pieces of white bread out of a loaf of bread and put my gravy on my white bread.
Oh.
He came over there and he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Hey, boy." I said, "Hey, Jerry Dale Sr., this sure looks good." And he said, "What in the hell is that?" And he did not like that I was not eating one of his
As
biscuits.
I say, you insulted his biscuits.
I
You
did.
shouldn't insult a
You
man's
don't do that.
biscuits.
And
Yeah.
so I said, "Well, I'm from Greensboro, so I don't know what I'm doing." But that's how I eat a hot dog.
So if we're going to talk about hot dogs, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about some history, and then I want to talk about all the different regional variations of hot dogs in the U.S. because there's a lot of them.
There are.
So hot dogs, if we're going to talk about hot dogs and kind of the history of hot dogs, we have to look at sausage because ultimately they're a kind of sausage.
Yeah.
They're related to sausage.
I love sausage.
Do you know how far back sausages date?
I think way back, like way back.
Homer
There we go. Yeah.
mentioned
And not Homer
sausage.
Simpson either.
Yep. So Homer mentioned sausage in the Odyssey.
Did he really?
So 7th century BC.
Man, that little green truck's been around a long time. The Niece's man's in the Odyssey.
So around the same time, you also have the Chinese also making a form of sausage. So I don't know if it's one of those things that either way predates also that, and we just see kind of glimpses of it in Greece and glimpses of it in China and in the civilizations we know more about.
Yeah.
Or if it's one of those things, sometimes things kind of get invented in multiple places
Yeah.
around the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's that or if it just goes way back before 7th century BC, and that's just the earliest record.
So what is the definition? I know tomorrow being Independence Day, I gotta say in America you're probably not supposed to define things anymore. But what is the definition of sausage?
So sausage is a casing. It can be natural or not. Early ones would have been made with intestines and
Yeah.
things, and some still are. So it's a casing stuffed with meat and spices. And sometimes you get, depending on the sausage, you can get other things. I think some of the sausage in Louisiana also has like rice in it. So, but it's
Oh, boudin.
yeah.
That's
So
good.
it's
Yes.
so it's meat and sometimes other things with spices
Okay.
shoved in a casing, basically.
But all right, let me ask you this: in the etymology of it, are the last 4 letters of the word because of that particular spice that we use? Sage. You know what I'm saying?
That I don't know.
Okay. All right. Because isn't that what we use in a lot of our sausages?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Like souse and souse in the South.
yeah.
Yeah, and then sage.
Yeah. This is pretty much where we stopped talking about sausage and focused on the hot dog. So I didn't get any further in the
Oh, I got you.
origin
That's
of,
true. Yeah.
of sausage.
Okay.
Or the name of sausage, but
So you could have just about convinced me that we're talking about sausage right there, and I'd have kept going. So
well, we have to talk about sausage because it's related. But
yeah.
um,
So folks, if you haven't caught on yet, we're talking about hot dogs. Hot dogs.
I think I said that
Did you?
earlier
Okay.
on. Yeah, yeah. So into more recent time, Europe really took on making sausages, and Germany in particular really took on making sausages. They made all kinds of different sausages to pair with kraut and beer.
Kraut and beer.
There's a couple towns, European towns, that claim to be the birthplace of the hot dog.
Okay.
One is Frankfurt, Germany,
All right.
and they even go so far as to say that, hey, this is why they're called Frankfurters, because they were invented here. They claim it was invented in 1487. Hot dog,
1487.
1487. And in fact, in 1987, Frankfurt threw a celebration honoring the 500th anniversary of the hot dog.
And incidentally, they say sausage in German as Wurstchen.
Yep. So Vienna also claims to have invented the hot dog.
Really?
So, but rather than being dated to the 1400s as Frankfurt does, Vienna says it was invented there in the late 19th century.
Wow. Okay.
And their claim to this is that Vienna, or Wien in German, is where the name Wiener comes from to refer to hot dogs.
Ah.
So there's also a guy named Johann Georg Herner. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Claims that he invented the hot dog in the late 1600s, and then later took it to Frankfurt, which is where it got its name.
Okay.
So we don't really know, and there's going to be a lot of confusion with this, but we don't really know exactly where the hot dog was started. But one of the things that differentiates a hot dog from other sausages is the contents are usually very finely ground, so you get a much smoother texture
Oh yeah.
than
It's just like bologna.
bologna is similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get a much smoother texture than a lot of sausage. So hot dogs come to America with the wave of immigration, German immigrants and others coming from Europe. These hot dog carts, really early on they were just sausage carts, became a really popular way for immigrants who were kind of, entrepreneurs. They wanted to get a start in their new country.
Yeah. So yeah, when you think of the English, I think of fish and chips, and when I think of Germans, I think of the sausage.
Sure.
Yeah.
Funny enough, around around the turn of around the turn of the 20th century, in 1906, you get Upton Sinclair's novel The Jungle.
That jungle.
Yep. Funny enough, the fact that these sausage carts and hot dog carts were so popular may have made them a wise choice, especially, and which is really interesting when you think about kind of some of the jokes around hot dogs and what's in hot dogs.
Yeah.
But a study by the Health Commission in New York City around the same time concluded that the street food was fresher than the food sold in restaurants, fixed base locations, because they got their food straight from the wholesaler markets and they didn't have any way of storing it.
Gotcha.
So it's fresh.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between hot dogs and sausages as you think of in Germany and in other parts of Europe. And a lot of that has to do with the bun. The bun is kind of what makes a hot dog a hot dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in Europe, you may get a sausage, and you may get a little piece of bread with it, or a roll or something, but you're not getting anything that resembles a bun, and it's not really designed to be eaten on the bread.
Huh.
So the hot dog bun is really what changes this.
So who first did that?
There's a few things out there. St. Louis, Missouri, claims that it was invented there, but
The hot
the
dog
hot
bun.
dog bun.
Okay.
But that is likely not true. In fact, um, their story dates to 1904, and there's examples of hot dogs in buns that go back as far as the Civil War or earlier. So it doesn't really line up to.
So you think if somebody travels
their
from
story.
Germany over here to the States and they go to the grocery store, you think they might see that pack and be like, "What is this?" The hot dog buns.
I would say they'd definitely be confused. Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
One of the possible examples is a guy named Charles Feltman.
Okay.
Charles Feltman may have owned the first hot dog cart on Coney Island.
Ooh, the Coney.
Yep. Ultimately, the reason why the hot dog bun came about was this is street food, and they were looking for a way to serve it to their customers.
Ah, okay.
So the bun gives you a way to hold it.
Yeah, it's a handle that you can eat.
Yep.
Like the bread bowl, kind of.
Yep. But it may also not have been him. There was a Coney Island baker named Ignaz Frischmann who arrived in New York from Austria before 1850,
What a name. That's a good name right there.
and he claims he pioneered a way to hold the sausage, a bread that would hold the sausages. So he may have actually invented the hot dog bun.
Huh. Good job, bud. You ever eaten at a real German restaurant?
I don't think so.
Really? You never ate at a German restaurant?
Actually, I have at Old Mecklenburg.
I don't know if you consider that German because they don't really
It's
serve German food.
They do, yeah,
Do they?
yeah. It's a German beer hall, is what it is.
So if you ordered, like, did you get like kraut and a?
They have that on the menu. I didn't order that
Okay.
in particular, but yeah, they have.
So you get like a big old sausage,
Yeah,
and then I got like potato salad and kraut, and
Yeah.
then we had a big old piece of cake.
yeah,
Yeah, and the lady was shocked when I ordered sweet tea, but I mean,
yeah, yeah. We went down. I went down there with my brother one time, and he ordered. Yeah, it was sausage and kraut and stuff, and yeah, it was a lot of food.
yeah, so good.
But so the next question, after we've established kind of the sausage origin and the hot dog bun, is where does the name hot dog come from?
Yeah, that is so weird. Like if you think about it, it's like if you went to another country and somebody said, I don't know, we're gonna have fiery squirrels for supper. You're like, what the heck is a fiery squirrel? You
Yep.
know, is it really a squirrel? That'd be your first question. Is this really dog? You know, why is it called that?
So ultimately, it uh, it comes from sort of college humor.
Okay.
So hot dog stands were popular around colleges. So around Harvard and Yale, Princeton, those areas, you started seeing the college magazines refer to them as hot dogs because the students, it's kind of a jab at the questionable meat inside of them,
Uh,
would refer to them as dog carts.
okay.
And then, the hot dog carts were dog carts. And then, kind of the hot part just
Yeah.
kind of came from there. But
Yeah, because when you picture the guy in New York on the side of the road or on the sidewalk opening the steamer and all that steam rolls
Yep.
out and it's hot, I guess.
Yep.
Really? That is really
So
interesting.
yeah, that's that's kind of where they got their name. So
College kids.
yeah, one thing that I was reminded of as I was looking into this is a picture when you mentioned earlier, and I think it was before we started recording, but you mentioned a place called JB's and we talked about it, which is a local hot dog place here where we live.
Yeah.
And
And everybody knows he's right. I mean, everybody that's been here more than 10 minutes knows about JB's.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if you remember, because this caught my eye when I was a kid and we were there, there's a framed newspaper article on the wall in
Yeah.
there of the owner, John Baker,
Yeah.
and actually another guy that we know is in that picture. And they are trying to cook the world's largest hot dog
Yeah.
for a Guinness World Record.
Now, it would be longest.
Longest,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'd be a hilarious picture if it was thickest.
so I think at that point maybe they did break the record, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
So the current record for the world's longest hot dog,
As of right now,
as of right now,
contemporary.
at least as far as what Guinness recognizes, was from 2011, and it measured 668 feet and 7.62 inches. There's
I
actually,
don't know what to say to that.
yeah,
Now, how many feet? 600?
668 feet and 7.62 inches.
There's your band name, 600 Foot Wiener. There's your band name.
Not recognized by Guinness for, whatever reason. I don't know if the Guinness judge wasn't
Okay,
there or
right.
whatever the reason. The town of Flensburg, Germany, in
Flensburg.
October 2017, they manufactured and served a hot dog. So in meters, the previous record was 203.8
Oh, wow.
meters. The one served in Germany was 218 meters.
How do you who like what? Who makes that? Like, how do you team up with a manufacturer to
I mean, I guess as long as you can get a continual
casing?
casing, you can do it, or combine the casings. I don't know.
And it just shows up in a giant coil,
Yeah,
and then you just
I've
furnish it?
seen. Yeah, I mean, the picture that I was referring to. It was a big long coil, and they had this big
Oh,
coil
yeah, in the
top.
picture, yeah.
Yeah, that they were cooking it on.
Dang.
I don't know how you flip the thing
Very
with a lot of
carefully.
help.
Very carefully.
Yep.
How do you flip a 668-foot Frankfurter?
Yep. So
Man, yeah, you roll it. Yeah.
so
You could follow that thing home. Like that thing could be like on your Google Maps. It's just this weenie that leads you home instead of the blue line, you know? And the bun for that sucker.
yeah.
That's a oven right there.
Yep.
Man, that is
So
amazing.
so the hot dog is really taken off
Yeah.
in the U.S. It's one of those foods that's just synonymous with the U.S.
Especially with summertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with summertime, especially with Independence Day.
Yeah.
It's synonymous with the U.S. But there are a lot of different regional variations.
So has it crossed? Hold on. Has it made its way over? Like if you go to London, you're not going to be able to just get a hot dog. Is that right? Or you can?
You probably can at restaurants that just like, in the same way you might have a Chinese restaurant here or something, you may have an American restaurant that has that
Oh,
kind
so
of thing.
you really are right. It is synonymous with Americana.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you do have some interesting versions of hot dogs that have showed up other places, like in Chile in South America. There's a version it says it's twice as big as the American version we think of,
Ooh,
but it's served with chopped tomatoes, avocados, sauerkraut, and mayonnaise.
nope.
So there are some examples of hot dogs outside of the U.S., but it's really a U.S. food. It's associated with the United States of America.
Do you know how John orders his at the founder of JB's? The founder. You know how he orders his hot dog?
I've seen it if it's the one called John's Way on the menu, I've seen it, but I don't remember right off.
He told my buddy one time. I got a buddy from Yakin County,
Yeah.
and Brian's got a really thick accent, and he was like, "I'll have one with mustard or with mayonnaise and onions, please." And John was like, "That's the best hot dog, isn't it?" He's like, "Amen, brother." You know, and I was, "That's disgusting." You know what I mean? Mayonnaise and onions. And I'm a guy that'll eat Texas Pete chili right out of looking like dog food right out of the can. But a mayonnaise and onion hot dog, no.
So I'm gonna read off a number of different regional versions of hot dogs.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and assume they're on a kind of a regular bun, unless otherwise specified. Might
Okay,
be
sure.
steamed, might be toasted. But if there's anything outside of that, I'll mention it.
At home, I butter them and then broil them for just like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
So I'm interested to hear your feedback on some of these.
Okay. There's one I'm just waiting on.
In New York City, there is what's called a papaya dog.
Nope. I'm out.
It's an all beef hot dog served with mustard, sauerkraut, and a red onion mix, which is onions cooked in a tomato like a ketchup sauce.
Well, I might be. Okay, I might could do that.
You have Dirty Water Dog from New York City.
Not sounding good.
That's the vendor opens up the steamed thing, and
Oh.
that's
what
called
Matlock would order.
they're called dirty water dogs because jokes about how clean is the water those things are boiling in.
Oh, okay. That's what Matlock would eat every single day of his life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Topped with mustard and again maybe the red onion mix. New Jersey, they have an Italian dog.
Okay.
Italian dog is deep fried. The hot dog itself is deep fried. And it's served in pizza bread, topped with onions, fried or sauteed, red peppers, and fried potatoes.
That does not sound bad. You could put fried potatoes in a litter box, and I'd think about eating them. You know what I mean? Yeah, that sounds bad.
Washington, D.C. has the half smoke. The half smoke.
Is this a reference to Bill Clinton not inhaling?
I don't know the history of the name. It's served with chili on top. So it's a form of a chili dog.
Oh, okay.
But the
It's
hot dog
creative.
itself is a little different. They say it's coarse. Like the meat is coarse, so it's not a.
Huh.
I guess maybe it's more of a sausage than.
Okay, with chili on it.
Yep.
Okay, I can do that.
Ben's Chili Bowl chili is the one that is usually used, but there's others.
Okay, so far I could do most of these.
The Texas Tommy. Yeah,
Texas
the weird ones
Tommy.
are kind of come later.
All right.
The Texas Tommy does not come from Texas. It comes from Philadelphia.
Okay.
And it is sliced down the middle and stuffed with Cheese Whiz, crispy bacon, served on a toasted bun.
Yeah, I could do that.
The New York System Wiener. Rhode Island is where this one originates.
Okay.
And you're gonna see this a lot. A lot of these names, what the place is named after usually isn't the place it comes from.
Okay.
I don't know why.
What's it called again?
The New York System Wiener.
Okay. That's once again that sounds like a band name.
It is garnished with a meat sauce, so think like chili, like hot dog chili.
Okay.
No beans. Mustard, raw onion, and celery salt.
Celery salt.
Yep. You'll see that one a few times on this list. It's a type of salt.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I never knew what it went in, and was definitely not expecting it to be sprinkled on my hot dog.
Fenway Franks.
Fenway
I
Franks.
bet you can guess where those come from.
Yep.
Beantown.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boston.
Yep. They have mustard relish and sometimes Boston baked beans on top.
Really? Beans on a hot dog.
Yep.
Okay. That's different.
There's the Philly combo. This one does come from Philadelphia. It's a split down the middle and has a vinegar-based slaw, mustard, and a fish cake,
What's that?
like fried fish patty or like fish stick sort of consistency on the hot dog.
And what's that called?
Cool. That's a Philly combo.
All right, let's do this again. Now. Come on. It's like a collision of worlds. This is like when I saw people pulling campers down to Myrtle Beach. I was just like, wait, what? What? Whoa, what? Okay, so you slice the wiener all the way down the middle,
Yep.
which always gives me a slight shudder when I see that happen. And then you fill it with mustard, slaw that's vinegar based.
Yep.
Okay, you got me there. That's good.
And a fish cake.
I could handle that. Okay.
Baltimore bologna dog. This one does come from Baltimore.
Okay.
This is a all beef hot dog wrapped in bologna,
What?
griddled, and then served with yellow mustard.
That's the strangest thing I've ever heard. Why would you wrap a hot dog in bologna?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't you wrap a hot dog in bologna?
It's just weird.
Clifton, New Jersey has the Ripper.
Okay.
The Ripper is so named because the natural casing rips when it's deep fried.
That's gross.
And it's served with mustard and a sweet spicy relish.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you, what is the dividing line between a relish and a chutney?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I've made lots of relishes. I've never made a chutney.
Okay. Chutney is like with a pork chop, right?
Doesn't chutney usually have fruit in it?
like an apple chutney?
Yeah, I think chutney
Yeah.
usually has fruit in it, and relish usually does not.
Anna's looking.
Yeah.
Okay.
A spicy condiment made of fruits or vegetables with vinegar, spices, and sugar originating in India.
Some of it may be the spice palette too, because if it comes from India, it's gonna have different spices to it
Yeah.
than what we think of as like a relish.
Yeah. And man, if I sweat curry, woo! I smell like curry.
The Texas wiener also does not come from Texas.
Okay.
It comes from Paterson, New Jersey.
It's just so weird.
Deep fried hot dog with spicy mustard, raw onion, and Greek sauce.
Like that tzatziki sauce?
No. It sounds like Cincinnati chili.
Ah,
A smooth, chili-like sauce made with ground meat and seasoned with cumin, cinnamon, cloves, allspice, and cayenne. Yeah.
man, and it has raw onion.
Yep.
Man, let me tell you something. See, all right, there are certain date nights I'm thinking the long game, and I'm just gonna be honest. And it's 3:39 in the afternoon, and I got a date that night with my wife. I gotta, I'm like, no onions tonight, no garlic, because yeah, you're playing the long game. That's not a hot dog a guy needs to eat on a date, unless she eats it too. Yeah,
Philly also has the salami dog. Salami dog is wrapped in salami that's also fried
that's so weird.
and topped with mustard and a slice of kosher dill pickle.
Nope, I'm out. No, the only pickle I can do is the sweet gherkins. That's the only pickle like sweet midgets or whatever. That's all I can do. And also, hold up, salami
Salami.
has the texture is so different.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Camden Yards in Baltimore
Okay,
has a crab mac and cheese dog.
crab.
Yep.
Okay,
They take
well, it is Baltimore.
yep. They take the bun, add the hot dog, load it up with lump crab meat, gooey mac and cheese,
What's a weird
and
combo?
sprinkle it with Old Bay.
Oh, that. Oh yeah. Now that one there is like graphic violence good hot dog. Yeah, that's a triple rated
Yeah,
R hot dog.
Like
I don't think
favorite thing.
I don't think I've ever heard that expression.
That's a good one there.
Maine has the red snapper. This is one of those bright red hot dogs you sometimes see.
Oh yeah, like Big Mama's pickled dogs kind of thing. That color anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, there's a brand of hot dogs you still get at the grocery store
It's really
that are
bright
like
red.
pink or red.
Yeah,
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 they'll turn if you boil them, they turn the water pink.
yeah. That's gross.
So this one is served in a lobster roll, served with Maine's Ray's Down East Schooner yellow mustard.
Huh.
Very specific.
Very
I know.
specific. I'd like to try it. And it's in a lobster roll.
It's in a lobster
So
roll.
what's the $15 hot dog?
Well, I don't think there's any lobster with it. It's just that roll instead of a traditional bun.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
The other one has lobster on it.
I'm not from Maine, so okay.
No, the other one had crab on.
Yeah.
Michigan Red Hot. Michigan Red Hot does not come from Michigan. It comes from upstate New York.
Good.
It is doused in a meat chili, and this is described as having no tomatoes and no beans.
The chili.
Yeah, I'm not sure what a chili is with neither one of those ingredients. Like I get hot dog chili. Chili doesn't usually have beans, but I don't see how you get a chili without tomatoes.
Huh.
I'm not sure.
I can.
Topped with raw onions, mustard, and served on a split top bun. So kind of looks like a Coney dog, but a Coney dog also doesn't come from Coney Island. So the Troy mini hot dog is also from upstate New York. This is a very small hot dog put out by a local area butcher shops. They make special 3-inch buns for.
It's hilarious.
It's topped with a spicy meat sauce, yellow mustard, and raw onion,
You feel like a giant while you're eating it.
and generally eaten by the dozen.
So okay, so that's almost. Remember, Little Smokies.
Yeah.
Is that almost like that?
Little Smokies are smaller than that, though.
Okay.
But
Yeah, because they're not 3 inches.
somewhere in between, yeah.
Little Smokies are what we bust out on Jesus' birthday.
My dad always makes that for Christmas Eve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing says Happy Birthday, Jesus like meat. I'm just being honest. Meatballs, the Little Smokies. Oh yeah, we go all out.
We
turn into Vikings that have converted.
So the Carolina dog.
Okay, the Carolina dog. I'm
Yep.
from Carolina.
Yep. That's it's got coleslaw and chili, maybe some onion, maybe mustard.
Okay, just my typical hot dog.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
it's also
okay. So when you ask me, Okay, I answered your question as a young boy, I guess, like my boyhood hot dog.
Yeah.
But now as an adult, because I wouldn't have done this as a kid, it's red slaw,
Okay. So barbecue slaw. Yeah.
yes, and chili,
Okay.
and a little bit of mustard.
Okay.
Okay.
The thing I find interesting about this one is it's also called the West Virginia dog or the slaw dog. And it's apparently popular at a lot of different places across the South. It's not just North Carolina. But of course, being from here, we think of it as a North Carolina thing.
Now, I've worked with a ton of West Virginians at the place I worked, and they all said that when they came down here and we had a cookout at our place of work, we said we want to be able to go all the way with our hamburger and hot dog when they asked about condiments. And the West Virginia guys were always, when it was their first cookout, they were always like, "What the heck is he doing over there?" So they weren't used to seeing
Interesting.
chili, mustard, slaw, ketchup put on a hamburger.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw several places that referred to slaw and chili as a West Virginia dog, in addition to calling it a Carolina
Really?
dog.
Okay. Now these guys were mainly from Raleigh County and Wyoming County.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helps, but
Yeah, West
West
Virginia
Virginia.
is still rural enough that it could be very regional.
Oh yeah, word may not have got around yet. Yeah, across the holler.
The Texas dog, this one's actually from Texas.
Oh, okay. If you're not from the States, if you're from like Britain area,
Trying to figure this out.
you're like, whoa, mind blown.
Yep. So this one is served with salsa, shredded Monterey Jack cheese, sliced jalapenos,
Ooh.
and sometimes Texas chili. So no beans, hot dog
Dang,
chili.
man.
The Memphis dog,
Please say this is from Memphis.
it is.
Okay.
It's wrapped in bacon,
Yeah, here we go.
drenched in barbecue sauce,
Oh yeah.
and topped with chopped onions, diced scallions, and shredded cheddar cheese.
Dang, now that sounds good right there. If they could do that with those little 3 inchers, oh man, but you'd have to have a really sharp knife to do that onion.
The Chicago dog, this may be the one you were waiting on.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Chicago dog is typically served with one brand of hot dogs, Vienna beef hot dogs that
Yeah,
are
that's
made by a
that's no
place
problem.
in Chicago.
Yeah,
They are usually boiled and then grilled. They come in
that's
a
weird.
they come in a poppy seed bun,
Ugh.
and they're topped with tomato slices, chopped onions, a bright like neon green relish, sport peppers, yellow mustard, dill pickle, spear.
Laying all the way across the weenie.
Yep, and celery salt. So back to celery salt.
That to me, that is like
It's a lot. It's a lot of food.
that's nasty. I cannot. I don't eat tomato slices. I don't eat dill pickles. How can you screw up a hot dog? I just don't get that at all.
Kansas City,
Way to go, Chicago.
Kansas City, Missouri does a version of a hot dog that makes the Kansas City style dog makes me think they were trying to come up with a Reuben and they made a hot dog instead.
Oh, sweet.
It's covered in melted Swiss cheese,
Uh-huh.
sauerkraut, and Thousand Island dressing.
Why have I not tried that? Because I love corned beef. Like if my wife ever leaves me, there's always corned beef. Love a good Reuben.
We're, we're going to get into several different conies here that all come from Michigan, not from Coney Island.
I'm telling you, if you're not from the States, this is like, man, what the heck?
The Detroit coney
The Detroit Coney.
is drenched in a coney sauce, which is a salty chili made with beef heart,
Lost me at heart.
mustard, chopped onions, and shredded cheddar cheese.
And that's the Detroit.
Detroit coney.
That's weird.
The Flint style coney. This one is made with a dry, fine ground beef heart. So instead of like chili, it's like, I guess, just cooked beef heart. And that's spiced on top of the hot dog. And that's it. That's the Flint style coney. So if you're not a big fan of heart, that's probably not for you.
So wait, what do they do with the beef heart?
It says dry, fine ground beef heart as the topping. So I guess
It's like a powder?
instead of putting it, well, I'm picturing more like when you cook up like ground beef. So it's like that sprinkled across the top instead of being in like a chili with like a sauce.
That's the thing. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer's hot dog. That's weird. That's weird.
The Jackson style coney, which is Jackson, Michigan, not Jackson,
All right,
Mississippi.
well, let's recuperate a little bit. Hopefully, this is edible.
This is also made with some form of that chili made with ground beef or ground beef heart,
Okay.
onions, and spices.
Wow. I mean, what can you not just put mustard on your hot dog? You got to go get a beef heart.
The Cincinnati cheese coney.
Sounds good.
This is the one covered in Cincinnati chili, much like the one we talked. It's very similar to the one we talked about in New Jersey.
Is this like a skyline chili?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Cincinnati chili, mustard, raw onion, shredded cheddar.
Good. No beef heart. I don't want. I know what's in a hot dog is questionable, but I just don't want organ meat sprinkled on my dog. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the funny thing about that is, in reality, like there's a lot of jokes about what goes into hot dogs, but for the most part, unless maybe you're buying the cheapest thing they have at the store or whatever, it's made. The meat in it is the trimmings. So what that is,
Okay.
if you cut a steak, the pieces that you cut off are what goes into,
So everything's
so
used.
pork or beef or chicken or
Yeah.
some
Is bologna
combination. I'm sure it probably is.
and it's cooked into like a liquidy mash, right?
It's
then
very, very fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that on How It's Made one time and I had to turn it off because I was going to end up a vegetarian.
Yeah. There's the Sonoran dog from the Southwest.
Okay.
This is it's wrapped in what's called a bolillo roll. So
that?
think of it kind of like a burrito, but still a bun. So it looks more like that. It's covered in pinto beans, chopped tomatoes, raw onion, avocado, mayonnaise, jalapeno, and shredded cheese.
That's a clash of worlds right there. Because when I hear pinto and onion, I think deep Appalachian.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, pinto beans are also very heavily associated with Mexican cuisine, so that's
Is
the
that right? Okay.
southwestern influence. Yeah,
Is that what refried beans are?
I think maybe they may be made from pintos. Yeah,
Okay.
Nevada is known for the naked dog. It's boring. It's just a plain hot dog. That's what they're known for.
On a bun?
Yeah.
With nothing on it?
Yep.
Okay. Oh. Where's that from?
Nevada.
Guys, put something on your dog.
You're gonna find this one interesting. The Seattle style dog. It is split in half and covered in cream cheese,
Nope.
grilled onions,
Out.
jalapenos,
Nope.
and grilled cabbage,
Oh.
topped with sriracha, barbecue sauce, or salsa. You
Stick-
are both giving me horrified looks right
Stick
now.
to the fish, guys. Oh my gosh. That's Jared. No.
The
Cream cheese on a hot dog?
the Denver dog is an all beef dog chopped with red onion. It's from Denver, Colorado. Chopped with red onion, green chili sauce, sour cream, sliced jalapenos.
Okay. I mean, I could suck down a beef heart before I could do the Seattle thing. That's cream cheese goes on a bagel. That's just the way I see that.
This is the weirdest one yet,
Okay.
and it goes by two different names:
Okay.
the Montana Tater Pig
Montana tater pig.
or the Idaho Super Tuber.
Super
Those
duper.
aren't band names. I don't know what it is. This actually comes from Bozeman, Montana, but because it involves potatoes, Idaho also claims it. They take a potato, they hollow it out, insert a hot dog, and bake it.
Ooh.
Then they split it open and top it with sour cream, chives, and bacon bits.
Dang. Dang. And what's that called again?
You want me to say that again?
No, I can't remember. The Montana.
Montana Tater Pig or
That
the
is awesome.
Idaho Super Tuber.
So I got to write into Stephen Ranella on the Meat Eater podcast and the Meat Eater Network. They're based out of all the Meat Eater stuff is based out of Bozeman, Montana.
Okay.
I got to email Stephen Ranella and be like, "Y'all have the best hot dog of all time up there." He'll probably hate it or something.
The Dodger dog is a classic. That's a foot long hot dog, topped with relish, mustard, ketchup, and raw onion. There's also another version of this.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the foot long.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's also another version of this, also associated with Dodger Stadium, the Doyer dog,
Doyer.
smothered in chili, nacho cheese, chopped tomatoes, raw onions, and jalapenos.
I can do that.
This one gets a little strange. Where the Puka dog from Honolulu, and we don't know a whole lot about this because it involves secret sauces, spicy secret sauces that the places that make it don't advertise what it is,
Are they trying to be like KFC?
or tropical relishes like guava mustard.
No. But sounds better than Seattle's.
Yep, I got two more for you. Rocky Dog, also
Okay.
from Colorado. Grilled peppers, sauerkraut, and onions.
Grilled peppers, sauerkraut. Okay.
Okay. And the reindeer hot dog from Alaska. That is made with caribou
Yeah.
and topped with onions, sauteed, and Coca-Cola.
And Rudolph's Nightmares.
The article does say topped with onions, sauteed, and Coca-Cola and Rudolph's Nightmare.
Rudolph's Nightmare.
But
Boy, so you got to give it to America for getting creative with the hot dog.
yeah,
Dang.
funny enough, this is also one of our longer. We talked at length about hot dogs and all the various ways you can get them in the U.S.
So I got more though.
Okay.
When I was a little fella, my mom got off work before my dad, and a lot of times, so I don't know how this worked really. I guess she just told him to fend for himself. I don't know, but she would take me out to eat sometimes before he got off work, and so I guess he made his own supper. I don't know, but we would go to Sally's on High Point Road
Okay.
in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Is Sally still there?
Yeah, but I think now it's Vietnamese food.
Okay.
So no. But we would go to Sally's, and it was a hot dog place. And it never seemed busy. We always seemed like we were the only people in there, but we loved it. And I always, from being just the smallest little fella, she would let me get the foot long combo.
Okay.
And I would eat every bit of it. And it would have chili. Even back then, I didn't do slaw yet, but it'd have chili and mustard and ketchup. And I'd have my fries and my jumbo drink. And that you think about the good old days, oh man, that Sally's was the good old. I was just a little fella. And then this place, there was a tiny little place attached to it that this ice cream place moved into. So we'd have our hot dog, and then we'd go over there and have
Get ice
ice
cream.
cream. Yes. So I love food. It doesn't talk back. It never stabs you in the back. It's always there for you. I love it.
Yeah, on the subject of the hot dog that has fish on it.
Yes.
Um,
There's a trout on your wiener, Jared.
well, I was just reminded. So this weekend when my nephew ate his trout that he got,
Yeah.
I filleted it for him. So and it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a ton of meat. It's two small fillets.
Yeah, yeah.
So he wanted something else, and we were cooking supper, and we had hamburgers and hot dogs that we planned, and he just insisted on he wanted to eat his fish. So he had trout and a hot dog.
Well, that is such a great learning experience for him because it's the manufactured world providing for him, but he's also seeing nature provide for him and that life and the life giving him more life. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. There's he's able to do something that most of us a lot of city dwelling folks never get the chance to do, and that's tap into your original self.
Yeah, and he loves all that stuff. I mean, we fish and hunt and all that, and he
Yeah.
loves to do all that stuff. Squirrel hunt, rabbit
Yeah.
hunt, deer hunt, whatever.
That's great.
So
And so he has that learning example, and he's actually living out holding an animal, and then later helping cook and prepare, and then it's just a different feeling when you're eating something
Yeah.
that you looked in the eye an hour ago.
Yeah.
It's a different appreciation
Yeah.
for creation and the way the world works, the way you work. Yeah,
I,
it makes us human.
a funny story with that. I think he was about 4, and he was up in West Virginia when we were up there for our week of deer hunting in November, and I think he was about 4. He came out of the house, and we had deer hung up in the building. We were skinning deer. We were
Yeah.
cleaning deer, and he walks up to the building door. Mamaw had tried to kind of keep him in the house, but he wanted to come see us, and so he comes out there. And he walks up to the building door while we're sitting there, skinning deer, cutting on deer, whatever. And we all kind of turn to look at him because we're interested to see what his response is going to be. First time seeing something like that.
Yeah.
He didn't like visibly react. He didn't get sick or anything. But he looked at Mamaw and he said, "Let's go back inside. I don't need to see this." He was like 4. But anyway, that is hot dogs. So you guys doing any grilling out for the 4th?
Yes, and guess what I bought
Hot
just
dogs?
this evening? Uh, we're meeting our friends, the Shays,
Okay.
at a pool, and that one of their family members own. And sometimes we get the invite. We're like, but they asked us to bring the bread, so we got hamburger buns and the strange, evidently the weird hot dog bun that
Yeah.
most countries don't have.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. You got anything else on this?
This was a lot of fun. I love the food ones, especially. I just love the food ones.
Yeah, I thought this one. I know we talked at length about all the different kinds of hot dogs,
Yeah.
but I thought this was a fun one and fitting for Independence Day because you get a lot of people grilling out.
Yeah. Isn't it weird though that's it's just if you think about it, it's weird what you end up associating with things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really think maybe that came around post World War II.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get the suburbs and you get grilling out, and that's yeah. So, and hot dogs and hamburgers are both relatively easy. I mean, you don't have to know much about grilling to cook both of them.
You ever watch The Wonder Years?
I did not.
And well, when Joe Cocker is doing the intro, he's singing. It shows his dad, and Fred Savage is in the. Is it? They're showing like old family film as the intro,
Yeah.
and there's 2 different shots of his dad flipping hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yeah.
So it is definitely Americana.
Yep.
All the way back to Fred Savage in the early '90s. Yeah.
All right. I guess we'll see you folks next week. Hope you have a I hope you have a wonderful Independence Day, but by the time you listen to this, it will have come and gone. So I hope you had a wonderful Independence
That's right.
Day.
And rate, like, and subscribe.
See you next week.